back to me trying to explain redstone. I am Zix200, and I am going to die because somebody decided, you know what, let's just ask him how redstone works. Specifically how flying machines work. And what I decided to do was we're going to take this in a couple different steps. I know that people are going to be kind of annoyed with me because flying machines really aren't complicated. They are very, very simple, in all honesty. I think they get a bad rap because people don't think about them in the same way that they do other things, but trust me, it works exactly how you think it works. So, I built the smallest flying machine. It goes. It just goes. It just works. Now, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to show off each individual part and why it works the way it does. First thing we have to look at is how are we getting power? And the first thing that we got to see is we're getting power through these observers right here, not because of the typical reason, oh, something is changing. It is because whenever it changes, it will send a signal. If I move this block, right, like this particular observer, if this moves to this side, it will give out a signal. If this moves, it will give out a signal. So it goes to say, whenever I decide to put something in front of here, which will update the observer, what will happen is this piston right here will activate and move this entire line over here by one block. Because, remember, observers only give off a pulse on one tick. So, because that pulse will be one tick, it will move this entire half of the contraption out to here, right? Since it's going to be out all the way over here, this observer gets updated because, hey, the block in front of me just changed because I changed. So, because there's an update to this observer, it sends out a signal, it puts this sticky piston, and it goes, I need to extend. It extends and then retracts because, again, it is a one-tick pulse, and will pull this block, which is over here, to this position. That is how you get constant movement all the way across. One pushes, the other one pulls, and on the other side, all you gotta do is update it, and it will do its thing. That is as complicated as flying machines get until we decide we need more. So if you need to push things more than whatever the block limit is for these, so I believe that you can push up to 14 blocks? Or is it 12? I can't remember. It doesn't really matter, because all you have to do is add on to it, right? So we just have another section over here. So all of a sudden, now whenever this moves, because this needs to move, this is going to move, and it's going to say, hey, update this block and make sure it pushes. That's all that's going to happen. So all of a sudden, we put a block here, and look, we have more extension. It's going to give us more so we can push larger objects because we could just add another flying machine to the flying machine. There's no point in not adding another flying machine to the flying machine. The only problem is then going backwards becomes a little bit more complicated, right? So obviously, we can't actually push it back from here. We would have to push it back from here. But it's fine, because since it could push it, it can pull it. And that's where the updates come in. So really, the complicated part of the flying machine is the catching system, or the lack thereof. So all you have to do is figure out what one of the observers you need to update, and then update that observer. Or, if it is big enough, you have to update multiple observers in the right order. So, for example, let's add some blocks over here, right? Because we can. Because we can, we're going to add a whole bunch of blocks over here, and this is just going to make it so that it can't push this alone, right? because this block can't actually push all of the blocks that it's connected to. However, if you have this update first, I think I put too many blocks on this too. If you have this one update first, and then you update this one without changing the first one, oh, would you look at that? It just works. It just works. And that is as complicated as it gets, because look, now that this is back, actually you need to update this again in order for it to retract, because now when you click on this and it pulls away, then it's all of a sudden going to pull everything back. That is as complicated as most flying redstone needs to be. That's what I did. So if we want to go vertical, all we have to do is we have this kind of setup, right? All we have to do is make sure that this setup gives us a signal at certain points. So like this one, all of a sudden we can put, let's just say over here somewhere. Boop. There's that. Oop. There we go. And this one can just come over here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I can totally mess this up. Because I'm an idiot sometimes. Okay, so that's right. So this one just needs to make sure to get powered at some point. So we can just move that out this way. And that's it. So the reason why we can do this is because we have the power being distributed. So once you update this piston moves downward, which moves all of this downward. This thing gets updated because it got moved downward, and we can actually even make this smaller. Sometimes it matters what blocks you place where. Sometimes it's just silly like that, but you know, what can you do? Because if this moves that way, then this can, of course, be coming out here, or literally whatever side you want, and it should just work. Yep, there you go. So the reason why this works is wherever you put your input, the input's going to come out here to your output, and that's going to move this down. This, of course, is going to update. This block is powered. This is going to come up and then be depowered because this is only a 1-tick pulse, and then it's just going to continue doing that all the way down here, and that's how you can go vertical. There you go. So yeah, you have to make sure that you don't bud things. So that entire problem was because this was budded, because if this is powered and it's supposed to be down here, it's going to get very confused because it's supposed to be on and off at the same time, and it kind of just continues to go on and off. It's the same reason why you can't really have a sticky piston with a block of redstone on top of it, because then it's just always going to be powered. Because, oh, well, kind of. I think it just maintains itself once it's, yeah, see, it'll maintain itself if it's powered above it directly, but that's why this being over here works perfectly fine. It doesn't really care if it's underneath it, but, yeah. Welcome to the weird stuff of redstone, right? So yeah, like the point is that you can't have this powered because it's above it. This could be powered because it's below. It doesn't matter. But yeah, no, that's about it. Hopefully that was kind of informational. It's really not as complicated as people make it sound. Just because it's an order of operations that literally is just set to repeat. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to have to edit this down quite a bit. But if you have any other questions for me, it doesn't even have to be about Minecraft. It could be literally about any game, any genre, any basic mechanics even. How do you get a object to make you jump in a video game? Why is it that there are glitches that you can like phase through the floor, and why, and things to avoid, things to, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of stuff I could do. Please let me know if any of that interests you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take it easy.